For independent studio Moon Studios' breakout hit Ori and the Blind Forest, lead animator James Benson faced a formidable challenge, creating a lush, expressive 2D animated game with a skeleton crew and limited budget. The results speak for themselves. Ori burst onto the scene in 2015 with jaw-dropping visuals and fluid character animation. Under the hood, Benson and his team achieved this through an ingenious hybrid pipeline, leveraging 3D assets and rigging to craft beautiful 2D sprite animation. In his GDC talk, Benson recounts the hectic journey behind Ori's unique visual identity. With enlightening examples and hard-won wisdom, he reveals the methods and principles that brought Moon's vision to life. Benson's path to indie darling Ori began inauspiciously. His early career vegetated between minor roles on Lionhead's Fable series and the ill-fated Milo project. But this baptism by fire prepared Benson for the challenges of going indie.
I basically hadn't really done anything. I just sort of sat around and kind of tweaked some little things and fixed some bugs.
With AAA experience, but few major accomplishments, Benson joined Moon Studios as Ori's lead animator. It was a daunting role for someone with minimal 2D experience. But limitations often breed innovation. Benson found inspiration in the lavish films of Studio Ghibli. Productions like Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away exemplified the look and feel Moon hoped to achieve.
These backgrounds are like ridiculously rich and detailed. You can see all the brush strokes and it's gorgeous. And the characters also look awesome, but they're really simple.
Ghibli's films mix stunningly detailed, painterly backgrounds with simple, expressive characters. Ori would follow suit, using 3D assets to emulate 2D principles. With no off-the-shelf solution available, Benson and Moon's engineers devised a custom pipeline to bridge 2D and 3D animation. It centered on two key ideas. First, rigging for 2D control. Characters were rigged for complete control over posing and silhouette, not realism.
Being able to manipulate the bones to your heart's content essentially means you can draw whatever shape you want.
Second, pre-rendering sprite animation. Animations were rendered from the rigs into 2D sprites, not calculated live.
You get to do perfect non-uniform scaling of bones, which is ridiculously important.
This pipeline afforded the freedom of 2D drawing with the ease of 3D animation. Pre-rendering sprites was central to Benson's vision. By baking animations offline, designers could handcraft perfect frames without technical limitations. This precluded gameplay, requiring dynamic 3D elements. But for Moon's cinematic style, the benefits outweighed the costs.
If you record like 15 seconds of you playing your game and then just watch it back, it's going to essentially look like the linear, cartoon, perfect version of what you would have animated.
Complete control over each frame gave Ori its distinct 2D/3D fusion. Every pose and transition could be deliberately crafted. To leverage their pipeline's strengths, characters had to be rigged very differently than for traditional 3D games.
The important thing to note about these images is these backgrounds are like ridiculously rich and detailed. You can see all the brush strokes and it's gorgeous. And the characters also look awesome, but they're really simple.
Non-uniform scaling on all bones allowed radical squash and stretch for exaggerated poses. Shapes were optimized for specific camera angles, not consistency across views. Silhouettes could be precisely controlled, with parts like Ori's tail to show direction. This rigging enabled effects impossible with standard 3D setups. Benson stresses that technical artistry made his ambitious vision attainable. Moon's proprietary animation tools provided critical advantages. Intuitive cat rigging system required no advanced rigging skills. Sprite atlasing tools automatically optimized memory usage. Shaders added real-time effects like glows and distortion with simple controls. Metadata system enabled footsteps, particles, and more via original rigs.
I was very blessed at Moon that the programmers really understood what I wanted, and they gave me the absolute perfect system for this.
By collaborating closely across disciplines, Moon engineered a pipeline tailored for both animators and engineers. One clever use of rendering sprites was animating certain motions at higher frame rates. This opened up new options, like smoothing transitions between states with 120 FPS renders, faking blend trees by speeding up and slowing down loops, and adding more exaggerated poses within an action.
For the idle walk-run problem, what we ended up doing was all of the animations that affect we rendered at 4 times the normal frame rate.
Thinking in terms of reusable sprite sheets enabled creative solutions. While the technical foundations enabled Ori's look, its heart derived from artistry and care. Benson cites intoxicating inspirations.
We wanted to hit the kind of same aesthetic tone of these films, and then also the kind of emotional tone and the moral ambiguity and that kind of thing.
Every animation was hand-sculpted with meticulous attention. With the license for indulgence his pipeline provided, Benson crafted a visual masterpiece. For developers tackling 2D animation, Benson shares hard-earned wisdom. Start with the basics. Focus on nailing basic actions like walk cycles first. Design simple characters. Simple silhouettes read well even in complex scenes. Collaborate early. Work closely with riggers and engineers to build an optimal pipeline. Think outside the box. Explore solutions like high FPS and metadata for new options. Iterate ruthlessly. Take advantage of 2D's flexibility to refine continuously. Benson's advice distills decades of experience, but his greatest lesson is to follow your vision. With the right pipeline as your canvas, innovation is limitless. The insights from Moon Studios' journey with Ori provide both practical tips and broader inspiration. By blending disciplines, they produced one of gaming's most stunning visual feats. For ambitious developers, the possibilities are endless. Nucanon is your co-pilot for canon and lore. Designed for game writers to build interactive narratives, it's perfect for everyone. From independent storytellers needing to build their worlds and effortlessly prototype their game, to AAA narrative designers looking for a narrative hub to easily collaborate with team members. Go to nucanon.com to explore new workflow possibilities for your career in game development.